see a man in a suit at around this time when you're supposed to be outside playing and doing your dance time, you start feeling like you want to pull me and chase me away. But I understand, that is the age that you are in. That age, I was also there. See this up? But well, I will not be here to bore you or to waste your time. You know, for the first time when I stepped in high school, I used to study in Muambani boys high school. The first day I stepped into school, I was feeling some type of way. But that feeling changed a month into school. You know, I was in school and then 1 month later, I witnessed the first strike, the first ever student strike to witness in my life. And that changed a lot of lives. And the impact that brought remained with some even to this day, and they can never reverse that. Boys and girls, I'm here to talk about conflict resolution. And my beautiful name, like I said, is Mutiso Martin. It is a very sensitive conversation. It is a very sensitive conversation when people start engaging on issues that bring contention to their lives, and of course question the people they live with because they feel like they do not complement their wishes, they do not complement their desires. Conflict is the most uncomfortable thing that a human can experience. And I'll tell you that with examples. Do you know that today, the war between Israel and Palestine has taken away more than 30,000 people? The war between Israel and Palestine has taken away more than 30,000 people. These 30,000 people being characterized with the most number of people being being women and children. See this up? 30,000 people there, just because two countries would not get to understand each other. Disagreements will turn so grievous if they are not calculated. And within a split of a second, before you realize it, the deputy president of Kenya and the sitting president cannot see eye to eye like they used to do in 2022. That's the power of conflict. And conflict starts from a simple misunderstanding. Conflict between yourself, conflict between your parents, conflict between you and your fellow students, conflict between you and your teachers starts with a simple disagreement. In this juncture, I would love to invite all of us here, to give me instances or examples of conflicts that you might have experienced in your life before. I told you, maybe see Mr. Mueni, and I'm here to have a conversation with you people. See this out. Forget about the too much English. That was just some opening remarks. But sasa tunaongelea conflict. See this out. Let me come back to your language. Majama. Majama. Waza. Magadi. Gofiti. Hey. So what is conflict? What conflict have you experienced before? Mtuambie. Either nyumbani, shuleni, darasani. Examples of conflict. Hello? Examples of conflict? Yes, can I pick randomly? Yes? Yes? The guy in the purple, is it the lady? What's up? Hello? Let's go. She's a prefect. Yes? Yes? Yes. Oh, that's good. I believe as a prefect of every people in the world, was a prefect in different. So to me, what conflict have you experienced in life before? Yes? Parents conflict. Come on, man. Just come inside. Hello, compared to Tiger. What is your name? Ben. Yeah, so Mueni is here to tell us about the conflict she had with her parents. Sam. What's funny? You're not free to talk about it. Yes? I want to check out. Another person? Another person? I'm picking randomly. Good job. Just got this business, guys. Ongea kwa sauti. Ule jamaa sikii na kujui. He's Jojo Chair. Jojo Chair. Tell us a conflict that you have experienced. Hauna conflict hata moja in your life. Kabisa. Muambani. Hauna conflict. Mko nazo. Yes? Yes. Mko nazo. Yeah, so before she does that, Mati will give us an example of a conflict.
So my son wanted every 5 p.m. He wanted to be going to water technical to play football. But then the way he wanted to do it, he just wanted to sneak from the house when I don't know. Right? He sneaks and goes to the for the football match. But later I came and learned that he goes every day, and I had a lot of clothes in the house. He had a lot of work. So that day when he came, I remember it was an evening. I was so mad at him. I wanted to know where he was going. And you know he's a foreman. You know him, eh? He's a foreman. So I felt like this boy could be having a guy somewhere. Eh? So I was so furious. I quarreled, you know how mothers quarrel, eh? So I quarreled him, and he was so also mad, eh? But we never fought. But he got so angry, he told me that, Mom, I want to go to play football. I think you're going to meet him, eh? One time, still. So it was like, where is the mistake? Playing football, where is the mistake? Then I was like, that's the challenge, eh? It's no mistake, eh? But he never asked for permission. So the conflict arose from failing to ask for permission. That night he never took supper. So he decided to go to sleep without supper. And you know how your mom will feel when you go without supper. So I remember that night I felt like he wanted to take his life. There was a he acts like he wanted to make you feel jealous. So in the morning, whatever remained, we boil again and we put it on the table. Like he loves eating. So it was like, do I refuse the chicken or do I talk to mom? So I saw he was getting disturbed and I sat and I talked to him. So he told me, Mom, give me permission to be playing football. I love football. And we solved our conflict, we took food, and we are peace now. Thank you.
One to home. Now we are getting a clear picture. Now, mother conflict, parent conflict. Yes? Hey. Father and mother bullying each other. Did the conflict escalate or was it resolved? Your conflict imeisha ama inaendelea? Imeisha. So now, those are instances of conflict. And as an artist or a performer, because myself I'm an actor. I am an actor. I can see you have a very good upcoming actress. What's your name? Brenda. Yeah, my name. I am an actor, and I work with a production house, Later Matrix Productions, and I do a lot of public speaking, and that's why we are here today. So as an actor and a performer, we understand the conflict, the situation in the society today. You know, there is a situation in the society today in tunaita mental illness. And a lot of cases that are affecting people in the mental stress come from conflict that has not been resolved. And so I draw so much illustrations as an artist from previous acts, and today I will do that from the systemic composition of songs done by a famous artist in the local region ya huku kwetu. Wakamba ni wangapi hapa? Yes? Wakamba? Hata Ochieng. Yeah, so I'll draw systemic illustrations from the composition of songs done by one of the most famous people to ever grace the Kamba music space. Ile tunaita band. Sawa? And this guy is none other than Kijana Musioki, famously known as Kimambo. Nani ashisikia Kimambo? So that I take you, nataka tutoke mbali niwaoneshe how people have resonated with conflict over time. Si sawa? Now, at one point, Kimambo was dating a very beautiful girl by the name Anita. And just like Mwalimu's son, Kimambo would escape home and go visit this little girl who was doing her secondary school at the time. And during his composition and the times he spent to write songs and the inspirations that he had to do songs, amongst the many songs that he did, it is outstanding that Kimambo wrote so many songs for this lady. Album after album after album after album. And in the first album, Kimambo sits and reflects about the love they used to share with Anita. And in that album, he names the album Mavenzi Ma Anita. He talks about how they used to be dali, how used to love each other, how their love was growing. Anita was a young girl doing her secondary school. And then days come and days go. Anita starts drawing back. Anita starts distancing herself. Anita anaanza kutoka kwa hiyo love. Kwa nini? Many things might have happened. Number one, she started having issues with the parents. Yes? Kimambu was rich. He was a musician, a good composer. Angekuja shule kusalimia Anita na matatu zake. But that did not stop Anita's parents to tell her that it is important to do studies first. And she started walking out of the relationship. But our composer, our musician, did not understand. Alright? Did not understand that, let me give this kid some time to study. And so he continued to write about his escapades. He continued to write about how he was conflicted with Anita. And in the second album, Kimambu goes ahead and says, Anita, whatever. And at this time, he's asking Anita, we had a date. We were supposed to meet during December. You were supposed to meet me for Christmas. But you didn't show up. Anita, whatever. And in the song, he remembers many instances where he even says, Onatukulanga uboete na gitio nenda kaninao. To understand that, Kimambu tells this lady that I had bought so many gifts to bring you during this date, but you didn't show up. And he continues to ask the lady, Kanani mwana that you didn't know. And he continues to ask this lady, and you see, in that story, he's building up a lot of assumptions into this conflict, because we don't have the second party who is Anita to tell us what really happened. And this composer struggles with this feeling, struggles with the love that he had for Anita. And in the next album, he goes ahead and sings again about Anita. You see, this is conflict building. I'm systemically showing how conflict builds. So he goes to another album. And now, he is fed up with Anita. And Walibu, I'm very sure you might have interacted with this song. And in this album that made a lot of sense, surprisingly, he sings and he says, Anita, no one is here. To those who don't understand French, that means Anita ulinikosea. And he sings and sings. Anita wani wametisie maidia demu kiana neanasya batanaku wanatisi ulu na itombana ula wewe ukechalusa ukakengana wewe nae. And Kimambu laments about Anita. You see, conflict stopped being a question of mapenzi yangu na wewe. It went on to become Anita whatever. And now it is Anita no one is here. Now there is somewhere, Kimambu was so passionate when composing this song. And somewhere in between he says, on our that God is even a witness that I was not the problem. But the good musician forgets that all this time he was dating a secondary school kid. that was a mistake by itself. When you home, but because maybe wazazi wa Anita hawakukubaliana na hiyo maneno, he now feels so entitled to hold everything against Anita. And then he goes ahead. And in this last song that I will want to quote, he did not sing to Anita, but was singing to another woman. And he was telling her that, oh, you, never go as a man in the between the boy. You need the money and the Quadina, they try a boy to man review. She talked about parent-to-parent conflict. Yes? You see, parent-to-parent conflict is the same illustration of Amina and Kimamu. But in their instance, conflict ilishindikana. Ikafika mahali Kimamu akasema imetosha. Wacha nipeleke mbuzi tuacha. Now, in all that illustration, I want us to come back to what we are supposed to talk about today. Today I want to talk about conflict between students, teachers, and parents. See this out? And I would want to talk about that in conjunction to our stay here in school. So, to our stay, to our stay here in school. And I was just walking by the office and I saw a few badges. Is it the badges of performance? Yes? You are best? Yes? That's good. Biology, agriculture. That's great. Yeah, so 4.50 is a good target. And we can only achieve this target if we are working from a comfortable space. See this out? If we are working from a comfortable space. Na nilianza kuambia, conflict is the most uncomfortable thing. Today, kama ulitoka home umekosana na mabebe, najua unajiuliza tu si tuendelee kukaa shule. Si ndio? Unajiuliza tu manzee, umsezi ya bonge tu hadi kesho. Kama mlikosana na walimu pale class, you feel like kesho isifike, ujamaa kesho kuna double. Sasa unakaa. You get what I'm saying? Unaanza kujiuliza, you are just so uncomfortable. And looking at bully is not a bad on a person. It's only that you are disagreeing on a point, but you feel like, oh jamaa, as he come. You know, we in high school, and I'm sorry to say that here, but we all passed through high school. So there, Malim, we all passed through high school. Now to high school, I'm not any different from you people. Tulikuwa na wale walimu hatupendi. Asije walikuwa wabaya. You see, when you get to this point, to this side, when you get to my side, siku utasimama mbele ya wasee, utakurealize vitu. Na kitu ya kwanza ni, imagine how my model si wabaya. Kitu ya wana ni skills za conflict resolution. Ama pia, labda wewe hauna skills za conflict resolution. So unapata mkiconflict, kuna mzee mmoja anasikia yeye mbili. Either yeye ama wewe. And that is not losing. So nikiwa high school, na watu walikuwa nini? So nikiwa mwingine kwa wajua kama yeye nimepea Mungu. Hiyo ni nyinyi mnajua sitauliza. So akitokea mahali uko tu amtaki unajiuliza jamaa mbona amekaa? Si angekuwa mwana gani? So it's so uncomfortable when you're in a mnaweza kaa chini, mbonge, na you work out. See sawa? So, when I was looking at conflict resolution, a few things come up. I want to give you the 4 types of conflict. The 4 types of conflict. Number 1 conflict is self-to-self conflict. Conflict itself. Number 2 type of conflict is conflict with others. Number 3 type of conflict is conflict with the environment. And number 4 conflict is conflict with the supernatural. So, conflict itself is self-explanatory. See here? You are conflicted within yourself. Do I do agriculture? Do I do business? You know, you are conflicted within yourself. So, do I go home? Do I go to play football? Do I go to school? Do I go to school? That's self-conflict. Conflict with others. I'm very sure about the prefects. Prefects of our home. It's not a prefect. Najua mbele, but sisi tunapenda sana. Najua prefects kupitia mimi. But they are the best illustration of conflict between others. You know, conflict with others. Because and prepare punishment, you hang on that and you create a conflict out of it. Sindio? Wao pia saa zingine wanageuka watiaji. Baya. Wanaamua asubuhi hapo nitokea. Hii siku ni yako. And you build a conflict out of it. So touching conflict with others. See this up? Conflict with the environment. Conflict with the environment. How many people here take agriculture? Geography? Yes? Do you know about it? You're in agriculture. Geography. If you have been keen in class, you must have learned that this planet is the only place we can survive. Yeah? And this planet is described by your environment. And that's why the environment is very important when we are talking about conflict. You cannot talk about conflict without involving the environment. And as I stand here, I am an ambassador of environment. See this up? As I stand here, as Tina stands there, she's part of an initiative that is geared to protecting the environment. Because we have let the environment go, yet we are conflicted with it. Every day I walk out here and I litter. I'm in conflict with the environment. And then finally, we have conflict with the supernatural. Do you know what that means? Yes? Yes? Yeah? You don't know? Rebecca. Yes? Rebecca, ukitoka shule, saa 11. Na wakue, ukienda hivi, Ochieng amekuwa kudanganya na hiyo base yake. And then ukienda hivi Ochieng anakwambia unakuja 18 aje. Mambo ni mengi masaa. And then before you know it, you find yourself fornicating. And then tomorrow You see your Bible, then you remember your God. And then you come to school so stressed. You start dropping in class. You start not performing in co-curricular activities. Mwalimu Mueni akikusalimia, you want to hide yourself because you're in conflict with the supernatural. Am I making any sense? Yes? Are we learning anything? So, if we look at those types of conflict, you realize that today we want to talk about conflict between we and others. That is between me and my fellow students, me and my parents, me and my teachers. Sindio? Now, how do you handle conflict as adolescents? Yes? How do you handle conflict? Apart from crying, most of you just cry. And others decide to become big and boom. Yeah? Hakuna kuachia hapo conflict. Yes? Yes? Hakuna, shout. Yes? Hello? Tuambie mwenyewe. Orphans? What? Who is it? Fight. Oh, unarushana magumu. Unagoda kugoda. Ingine, how do you resolve conflict? Yes? Now, yes? Does it sound? Another one? I'm doing sound. Now, most of the people like she was saying, wanapigana. Wengine wanamdhulumiwa. Blackmail. 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 Unajua blackmail? Unajua high school. I go back to when I was in high school. During my days. During my days, tulikuwa tunafundishana kiasi na form 4 kila mmoja. Form 1. Ukipatikana tu na bucket ya form 4. Hiyo vurugu hamtaihando kusikizana. The only way utafanya jamaa kusikize ni kumnunulia love cash. Hiyo ni blackmail. Juu nayo usipofanya hivyo utakuwa na siku mrefu sana hivi. So, kuna pia blackmail. Si ndio? Unatoka home, unaambia mzae mzee, jana tuliambiwa kwenda shule na ndio ya 1 2 3 things. Anakuambia jamaa, utafuta kidogo nyumba. Kesho wamtumishia. Utoke? Bio. And then, unajua, so, unaishia, unakuja shule. Ile kitu ilifanya, unakosa kupata. Students wengine wakipata. And then when you go home, instead ya mzazi akwambie, bibi, ule na kuelezea mbona kufanya hivyo. Anakumblackmail. Anakwambia na Rebeka ukukile mimi ndiye nilikuzaa. Na kama unafikiria unajua sana, kwa mizigo, enda kwa hiyo baba mwingine unajua. You cry and then your life starts becoming miserable. Without knowing, unakuja tu shule for the sake. Mpaka inafika mahali unasema hizi certificate unasomea babangu. But that should not happen. So So as I teach you today about resolving conflict, you should also go home and tell to your parents. I will always remember in June 18, 2024, as in Muambani Secondary School, we agreed that to get to our 4.50 grade, we need to ensure that we change our style of conflict resolution. As I walk out of this school, I want you to ensure that I have impacted on every single soul of you. To always remember that it is not the end of life, the fact that we don't see eye to eye with my dad, the fact that we don't see eye to eye with my class teacher, the fact that I don't see eye to eye with my classmates. That can always change. So, and always know that the power rests upon you as a person, upon you as a student. See this up. Until next time, if you have any questions, I will be picking. If you don't have, it was a good session. It was a pleasure watching you guys. Please.